We are only at the beginning of the social media revolution. I think one shift that we'll see in the coming 3 to 5 years is that the sort of thing that I'm involved in, which is helping companies understand, strategize, and execute social media, will be taken for granted. Now companies are saying, oh yeah, I heard about this what is this Facebook, what is blogs? You know, they don't realize that this is fundamental to business. So I think in the next few years we'll really get a handle on that, and businesses will really understand that they cannot get away without being part of the conversation that's taking place online. In terms of social media itself, however, we are really still in the dawn of the social media era. We are at the very beginnings of people connecting with each other online through social networks. You know, many people are still joining Facebook in recent months, or it's still at the very early beginnings of it. We are seeing the start of geolocation, which is people sharing information about where they are and what they're doing. Foursquare being one of the most prominent examples of that. But geolocation is going to become ubiquitous. People are going to be sharing much more what they're doing with their friends, and these platforms are going to proliferate. So for those that are concerned about having to get more and more involved in social media, sorry, we've just begun. You need to be authentic and you need to be honest, because if you're not, you will be found out. With social media, if you are misleading people, if you are going in and putting seeding positive comments about yourself, you're going to be found out. This is the era of the internet. Nobody likes finding that stuff more than now. But how do you engage then so that doesn't come back and hit you in the back of the head? Well, I think if you're being honest and being forthright about what's going on, you're going to be fine. Situations change over time. That was a statement made 3 years ago when we were preparing to buy this company. Now the situation has changed and we're going to have to change our strategy. People can understand that. It's the same as if you're making these statements in an interview with the media. Every company has a social media presence, whether they want to or not. They are being talked about online. Their services are being weighed up online. They are losing out to their competitors online. Think about this. Think about you're at a big conference. Your company, Company X, has a product. You see three guys in the front of the conference hall who are having a conversation. You go up and listen to the conversation, and they're talking about your product versus another product. That conversation's going on, and you're standing there, and one of them says something that's actually incorrect. It's not true that your product has this flaw or has this limitation. And instead of getting involved in that conversation, you go to the back room and you grab your summer intern and say, hey, can you go talk to these guys about our product? That's really what a lot of companies are doing when they are outsourcing or ignoring social media, saying, oh yeah, let's get the summer intern to do it. They are pushing their summer intern to get involved in the crucial conversations that are going on about their company and their products. So unless you are actively involved in those conversations, you are losing out to your competitors, and they're going to go, those conversations and those misinterpretations or these misunderstandings about your company are going to stand, and people are going to find them online. This is where business is conducted, it's where reputations are made, and it's where reputations are broken, and it's happening every day online in social media. The most important part about knowing when to get involved and not be involved is only, the full understanding of that is going to come when you are in social media and part of the conversation. When you are part of that dialogue, it's very easy for you to tell, okay, this is a rager, this is a troll, this is somebody who I'm not going to be able to change the opinion of, so let's let it rest because everybody else is going to see that. Versus, oh, this is an important person who is influential. The way that you're going to find out that is first by going out and listening to conversations online. You're going to find out who's influential, who's not influential, who is negative about your products, and who is positive about your products. And we sort of break it down usually into 4 quadrants. There's people who are influential and negative. These usually are not a very large number of people, and you try and figure out what their problem is. You know, they had a problem with customer service. There was an issue with one of the products. Contact them, reach out to them personally, and you can very quickly convert them from being influential and negative to being influential and positive. The influential and positive quadrant is really where you want people to be. These are people who are willing to be brand ambassadors. They're enthusiastic about your products. They'd like to talk about them. They'd like to deal with them. The people who are in the quadrant below that are very positive about your brand, but they're not very influential. These are people you want to help to rise in influence, increase their influence. And you can do that by aggregating their voices, teaching them how to blog better, getting involved with them. And the final quadrant, which is really what we're talking about here, are the people who are uninfluential and negative. And only by getting that full map out and having looked at the conversations online are you going to be able to say, okay, these people are irrelevant. We don't need to listen to what they're saying. Well, we do need to listen to what they're saying in case they become influential, but we can safely ignore them. These people saying negative things are the equivalent to an obscure newsletter in a distant town, so forget about it, don't worry about it. But ironically, those are the people that the CEO will always come to us and say, oh my God, can you take this person off the internet? It's not true. But once you've done a look at the conversations online, you can see it really doesn't matter that they're saying this. Let's ignore that and spend our resources on addressing people with real concerns who matter and the people who are potential brand ambassadors. There's many ways you can measure ROI, and there's many ways that you can measure the impact of social media. And that's one crucial part of what we get involved in when we are engaging with social media. The first thing you need to do is establish an understanding of where you stand, a baseline. How much conversation is going on about you, about your brand, about your competitors? How do we compare to others? This will allow us to know sentiment and the amount of conversation going on. Then what we do is sort of break down a classic sales funnel from awareness, preference, action, loyalty, and we use a variety of metrics. Awareness might be the number of page views of a website. Action might be the number of people signing up to join an organization. Sometimes we get very concrete measures. We had a recent example well, two examples. There's one here in Australia and another in China. The one in China, we had a blogger trial using beauty bloggers. Beauty bloggers are gigantic across Asia Pacific and highly influential, at times much more influential than the classic beauty magazines. And in that case, we had a product, and the only change in the marketing strategy of the product was a blogger engagement. The category, it was a facial cream, Pond's Age Miracle, and in that category, the category grew by something like 13% year on year for that product of creams. For the one we were involved in social media, the sales went up by 42%. So that's quite a concrete change. Here in Australia, we had a recent case where we were working with a company that was distributing software online, and we helped them engage. We helped reach out to influencers online. We helped reach out to anybody who was making comments about this software online, and we offered to help them to download. Very proactive kind of customer service. And visits to their website went up by 90%. The number of downloads shot up, and the sentiment online improved dramatically.